My name is John Passfield. The title of this reading will be John and Mother Goose, Video 3, Mother Goose Part 1. So here is my novella, John and Mother Goose, The Carnival of Tales, a picture of John and Mother Goose surrounded by nursery tale characters. While driving his granddaughter home from daycare, John suddenly finds himself standing in the midway of a carnival of Mother Goose fairy tales. He is greeted by Jack, of Jack and Jill fame, who tells John that Mother Goose is expecting him, as she has a role for him to play. But what does Mother Goose really want? Why does she think that John is a writer of detective stories? And why, when she meets John, does she greet him as almost a long-lost son? And for that matter, why do so many of the fairy tale characters have different stories that they want John to write for them, instead of the ones in which they have lived for hundreds of years? John's not a mythical character. He's only a human after all. But can he save the Mother Goose Carnival? Can he solve the mystery of the vanishing fairy tales? In Chapter 1 of the story, John picks up his 3.5-year-old granddaughter at daycare and drives her past farmers' fields as she sings a nursery rhyme, Ba, Ba, Black Sheep. They stop at a coffee shop where he buys a coffee, and then at a toy store where he buys her a little toy unicorn. As they drive along, the nursery rhyme song and the farmer's fields combine in John's mind to create a daydream about a carnival of tales. Let's have a look at Chapter 2, in which John finds himself at the Carnival of Tales and gets to meet Jack, of Jack and Jill fame, and the proprietor of the Carnival of Nursery Rhymes, Mother Goose. So let's go to Chapter 2, which is on page 7, and have a look. It's just a bare stage. I'm one of a small crowd, 10 or 15 at most. As I look around, a tent with washed-out canvas, Jack and the Beanstalk in faded paint on a weathered marquee. The curtain points, and a boy comes out and bows. Oh, this is Jack, of Jack and the Beanstalk. He opens his hand and shows us some seeds. I join in when there's a smattering of applause, and then a line from nursery rhyme runs through John's mind. Jack was a boy who lived with his widowed mother. This is amazing. I'm feeling stunned. This is a carnival, a midway, in the midst of a farmer's field, just like there used to be when I was a boy. I wonder where I am, and what brought me here. I don't think these people notice me. It's a very skimpy crowd. A series of tents with rickety stages arranged in a row. Another line runs through John's mind. He was on his way to sell his mother's cow. It refers to Jack, of course, of Jack and the Beanstalk. A man approaches, or is it a boy? An actor? A mythical creature? Or one of the human crowd? Is this a costume, or is he wearing regular clothes? John, he says, your name is John. Don't ask me how I know. I know who you are, and I know why you are here. This is the Mother Goose Carnival of Tales. Mother Goose is around here somewhere. I'll explain things as we go. I'm Jack, of Jack and Jill fame. I'm the one who goes up the hill to fetch a pail of water, as you probably know. Let's stroll along the midway. Mother Goose knows you're coming. She has a task for you. She'll tell you everything she wants you to know. We walk along the midway. Jack is showing me around. A nursery rhyme is being performed on every stage. We pause as we are talking. We stop in front of a tent. Little Miss Muffet is painted on a marquee in letters that are faded and worn. Only 7 or 8 have stopped to watch the play. A stagehand brings out a tuffet and sets it down at center stage. A little boy in the audience starts to applaud, and then he stops. The curtain parts, and out comes a little girl. It's little Miss Muffet, holding a bowl of curds and whey. The little boy and his grandmother lead the applause, and then the line from the nursery rhyme goes through John's head. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet. We're at a carnival of tales, John, Jack is telling me. Mother Goose is the one in charge. She's the one who holds the gate key. All we do here is perform. We don't make any decisions on our own. I'd like to talk to you when you get a moment, though not in the presence of Mother Goose. I'm Jack, of Jack and Jill fame. Please remember who I am, not Jack Be Nimble or Jack and the Beanstalk or any of those. I understand that you're a writer. I have something that I'd like to share with you. Another line from a nursery rhyme, eating her curds and whey. Strolling with Jack along the midway, a little old lady approaches. Does she have a familiar face? Old Mother Hubbard, perhaps, or the one who lives in a shoe? I'm about to turn to Jack and ask who she can be. It's John. I'd know you anywhere. I think of you as a son. Come give your old Mother Goose a cheerful hug. I've been waiting for you, John. I want to introduce you to my brood. I've been looking around the midway. Something told me that you were here. I didn't know the day, but I knew the time. I just couldn't seem to pinpoint where you were. And now I turn the corner and here you are. We're strolling along the midway. Mother Goose is in the middle, Jack and I on either side. We pause, the three of us, at another stage. Every stage along the midway is about the same size. All the tents behind them are equally faded, too. About 25 people have stopped to watch Bo Peep. The curtain parts and a hand pushes a lamb out onto the stage. A pause and the lamb is followed by 3 bleating sheep. A shepherd's crook parts the curtain, and through the opening steps little Bo Peep. I'm relieved to hear the enthusiastic applause. John remembers another line. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. I'm a little old for fairy tales, but I remember them from my youth. I'd have known you anywhere, Mother Goose. Oh, Jack, I wouldn't have known. Now, what's it, the beanstalk or the candlestick? Boys named Jack, I recall, seem to people the fairy tales. I have 3 wonderful grandchildren. Perhaps you already know. They grow up singing nursery rhymes. They learn them at school and at home. I didn't know there was a carnival. This whole scene is a big surprise. It reminds me of the days when I was a boy. The farmers' fields, the tents, the stages, the curious crowds. These stories, I'm sure, go back through eons of time. I don't know how I got here, but there are some questions I'd like to ask, if you don't mind. Another line from a nursery rhyme, and doesn't know where to find them. It's almost time for Jack's performance, so that leaves Mother Goose and I. We continue along the midway, small crowd at every stage. The humans don't seem to see us, only the characters see Mother Goose and say hello. Jack said he had something to tell me. I wonder how long I'll be here. I assume I'll get to talk with him again. I can't see anything but farm fields. Cars in the parking lot? None I can see. Is the clothing from different eras, different centuries, it seems to me. People don't seem to notice one another. It's for sure they don't notice me. It's as if I've gone back and I'm having a childhood dream. So we'll stop there. As he drives along in his car, consciously paying close attention to the rules of the road and listening to the nursery rhyme that his granddaughter is singing, John suddenly finds himself in a completely different world. He finds himself on a midway, standing in front of a small stage with a tent, with a weathered marquee which says Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack, the nursery rhyme character, comes out on stage and begins to act out his story. John realizes there's a whole row of stages on which nursery rhymes are being performed. As John is watching the Jack and the Beanstalk nursery rhyme, being performed on stage, another Jack of Jack and Jill fame comes up to John and tells John that he knows who John is, and that Mother Goose has been expecting John to appear at the Carnival of Tales. As John strolls with Jack along the midway, he notices that all of the tents are faded and worn, that all the stages are rather rickety, and there are very few people in the crowds that form in front of the stages to watch the performances. Things begin to turn mysterious when Jack tells John they would like to talk to John privately, without Mother Goose being present when they talk. He's very surprised when Mother Goose appears and gives him a big friendly hug and says she's always thought of John as a son and has summoned him here so she can introduce him to her brood, by which she seems to mean all the fairy tale characters who perform in the Carnival of Tales. After Jack leaves for his performance, the performance of Jack and Jill went up the hill, John walks along with Mother Goose, all the while wondering why Mother Goose believes that she knows him when he's never met her in person, why the crowd seemed to be so small at the carnival, and just why is it that Mother Goose wants to introduce him to her brood. Perhaps the title of this book should be The Mystery of the Carnival of Tales. Well, more in future videos, more if you purchase the book and read it. This is my novella, John and Mother Goose, The Carnival of Tales. It's available on Amazon. It's available at roxmillspress.com. That's my publisher's website where there's more information. On my website, johnpassfield.ca, there are 2 free books. You just click on the title icon and there's the text to read. One is a planning notebook in which I planned and wrote the novella and kept records. The other is a reflective journal in which I just wrote thoughts about all kinds of topics as I was polishing this novella before I sent it off to my publisher. So have a look if you'd like to have a look at those 2 free books at johnpassfield.ca. Lastly, I'll say thank you for watching this video.